Hey, Thomas Bartke. I want to tell you the story today of one of my very first real estate transactions. And it was a very interesting transaction because it was kind of convoluted. I was trying to buy a house that was in foreclosure, and it was owned by a husband and wife, and I was trying to buy it from them before it goes to foreclosure, and then bring the loan current and keep take the loan subject to. So the problem was, the husband and wife weren't really seeing eye to eye on a lot of things, and so they didn't agree, both of them, to sell me the house. So what happened was I ended up buying half the house. I ended up buying the half that was the wife's, and I couldn't get the husband to move forward and give me his half as well. So that was convoluted, but then I found out, and it was complicated because the house was going to foreclosure. I had planned on bringing the loan current, but I couldn't because I didn't have control over the entire house because I was missing the one half, right? So it was really convoluted, and it was going towards the trustee sale. But then I found one piece of information that really saved the day and saved the deal for me. And I want to take you into my office, into my computer, to explain the piece of information and the strategy. Okay, so let's go into my office right now. Okay, so let's look at the details of this example. So this is like my second real estate deal ever, and this was after I already owned half the house that I bought from the wife, and the husband didn't want to move forward. So the bank went to trustee sale on this property, and this is just an example. The opening bid was about $87,000, and I was watching it as it was bid up by 5 or 6 people who were there and who wanted the house badly, and they ended up bidding it up all the way to $118,000. And so now the big question here is, I was real happy about that because I knew the answer to the question of who gets the money, who gets the $118,000. So here is the answer. 87,000 of that 118 goes to the bank. All right, so this goes to the bank. Now, the remainder, those leftover $31,000, is what's called an overage. All right, that's an overage, and who gets the overage is the big question. Well, the overage goes to the owner of record on the date of the trustee sale. So that's why I was real happy at that point, because I was actually one of the owners of record. So I was entitled to half that because I had to split it with the husband, who was the other half owner, and I made some money on it. Now, out of this example, and this is just an example, the situation is that these types of overages, okay, they have to be claimed by the people who are entitled to that money. And dozens of times it happens that these types of overages don't get claimed, and they're sitting around and nobody gets the money. Okay, so that's a pretty cool strategy, right? Did you know about this? I was really surprised when I first learned about it. Now, here's the thing. Richard has turned this all into a system, and as I mentioned, he teaches you the 3 key components: how to find these unclaimed funds, how to find the owner of the funds, if you will, the rightful claimant, and then the key piece is how to structure an agreement in advance before you let them know in detail what it's about, right? That he will share those funds with you, and that's really cool because you're making that person really happy because he has a windfall of money coming that they didn't know about, and you get to share in that, and you know exactly that it's coming. The money is there. There's no complicated deal to be made. It's very clean. It's very cool. Now, here's one thing. If you just said or thought, well, that's a strategy that may have worked back then in 2003, when trustee sales were hot and everything got bid up, and there were actually overages created. Now think again. First of all, these unclaimed funds are still sitting there now from back then when they first occurred in those hot times. And then secondly, trustee sale overages are not the only types of overages that are out there. So check it out, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.